Ford's rare 427 monster that Dodge was scared to race, the 1964 Ford Fairlane Thunderbolt. This car was a superstar during the 1960s. This $220,000 vehicle designed to run on the racetracks like air. It was so fast that expert racers were not able to control this beast. In this video, we are going to talk about none other than the racers and everyone's favorite Ford Fairlane Thunderbolt. So stay with us till the end to know everything about this beauty, and let's begin. The Ford Fairlane Thunderbolt was a beast of a vehicle that Ford unveiled back in 1964. There were only 100 produced just for drag racing, thus it was not your typical vehicle. Of those, 51 had automatic transmissions and 49 had manual. These vehicles were designed to rule the track, not only to be showpieces. And they did, dominating the race to help Ford win the coveted NHRA Superstock Championship in 1964. Because these Thunderbolts were designed to win, they were much more than just speedy. Ford built them to be the best vehicles in their class, outperforming any competitors in terms of speed and power. That being said, keep in mind that the Ford Fairlane Thunderbolt was more than just a vehicle. It was a racing legend that could be seen tearing down the drag strip and creating history. Based on the Fairlane sedan basis, Ford innovated and produced the iconic Thunderbolt in the 1960s. A distinctive Fairlane model created in 1963 served as the model for its moniker. The Thunderbolt's combination of a powerful 427 cubic inch V8 engine and a lightweight body made it stand out. Ford had created the 427 V8 engine mainly for NASCAR racing for their larger Galaxy vehicle. But even out of the factory, the Galaxy's heavy weight made it difficult to drag race. In an attempt to develop a competitive drag racer, Ford engineers chose to mount this potent engine within the more compact and maneuverable Fairlane chassis. The 427 V8 engine of the Thunderbolt was tweaked to produce about 425 horsepower. However, experts and auto experts surmise that its real output would have been closer to an astounding 600 horsepower. With its incredible acceleration, the Thunderbolt was a serious competitor on the drag strip because of its enormous power. Ford updated the Thunderbolt extensively to improve performance even more. They used fiberglass and other lightweight materials for the front fenders, hood, and doors. The side and rear windows were also made of plexiglass, which reduced the overall weight of the car without compromising structural integrity. Significant re-engineering of the Thunderbolt's architecture was also necessary to make room for the potent 427 engine. To accommodate the additional power and torque, this required significant modifications to the suspension system, including the relocation of suspension parts and the reinforcement of mounting locations. To maintain stability and control during high-speed drag racing, these adjustments were essential. The Thunderbolt's hood design was one of its distinguishing qualities. It had a noticeably elevated air scoop that was placed strategically to remove hot air from the engine area. This creative design improved cooling efficiency and aerodynamics while racing by doing away with the requirement for a traditional hood latch. The Thunderbolt's design changed as it did. Fiberglass parts were used in the early models for both weight reduction and durability in competitive settings. To comply with changing racing regulations without sacrificing performance, aluminum bumpers took the place of fiberglass ones in later versions. The Thunderbolt's legacy goes beyond its cutting-edge speed and design. It continues to be evidence of Ford's engineering skill and dedication to expanding the frontiers of automotive technology in the name of domination and speed on the drag strip. Historians and auto fans still revere the Thunderbolt as a reminder of when muscle cars dominated American motorsports. This car's special racing variant was built with many specially designed pieces to increase its speed and power. Its tubular headers, a unique type of exhaust pipe, improved engine breathing. It used an electric fuel pump instead of a conventional one to pump fuel effectively. The car was fitted with a reworked rear suspension for improved handling during racing. These included hefty traction control bars and asymmetrical leaf springs, which are not the same on both sides. It was decided to shift the heavy-duty battery, designed to withstand the rigors of racing, to the trunk in order to improve weight distribution. The vehicle was equipped with tires and wheels made specially for drag racing. These were produced by well-known manufacturers of high-performance tires such as Mickey Thompson and Goodyear. To keep a closer eye on things like oil pressure and temperature, the car also sported auxiliary gauges. There was an aluminum scatter shield surrounding the clutch to keep both the driver and vehicle safe in high-speed racing situations. This shield was made to prevent clutch fragments from flying out if it broke during a race. This car's engine had a high 13.5 to 1 compression ratio. This indicates that the engine's fuel and air combination was compressed more tightly, before ignition, which contributed to a boost in power output. They not only increased the car's speed, but also made it lighter. To save weight, many components found in a typical street car were eliminated. Sun visors, the radio, the heater, wheel coverings, and even the passenger side windshield wiper were among the items that were included. They removed all sound-absorbing components, mirrors, armrests, and rear window cranks. They put in a plain black rubber mat in place of the carpet. They even swapped the chairs for lighter ones. Their seats were lighter than standard seats since they were taken from Ford police cars. They occasionally used simple bucket seats from an Econoline van. The back seat was retained from the Fairlane, the standard form of the vehicle. For racing, the headlights were also modified. The high beam headlights were removed and replaced with air intakes covered with mesh. The car's powerful 427 engine received additional airflow thanks to these intakes mounted above it through a dedicated air cleaner. The car was theoretically street legal, but with all these modifications, it was not feasible for daily street use. The transmission's gear ratios were optimized for racing, not for daily driving. Other Ford vehicles were not constructed like the Thunderbolt. Rather than being put together on Ford's standard assembly line, Dearborn steel tubing was partnered in its construction. They began with Fairlane bodies that were already in the top-tier 500 trim level, but were only partially constructed. Then a Borg-Warner 4-speed manual transmission or a heavy-duty Lincoln automatic transmission was fitted, along with a potent 427 engine. The first 11 vehicles had a deep red paint job known as vintage burgundy. The 89 automobiles that remained were painted white, more precisely Wimbledon white. The Thunderbolt was equipped with a powerful 427 engine, despite its exterior appearance suggesting a smaller engine. The automobile was adorned with 427 emblems to highlight its potent engine. To give it a more streamlined appearance, they also took down the Fairlane 500 script from the front fenders. At Lyons Drag Strip in 1963, the Thunderbolt created a splash by showcasing its power with a 4-speed transmission. In a test run, it reached a lightning-fast speed of 124.8 miles per hour and quickly navigated a quarter mile in just 11.61 seconds. Not only was this quick, but it broke records for its time. Still more proof was to come from the Thunderbolt. It was the star of the 1964 NHRA Winter Nationals. In a thrilling battle, Butch Leal and Gas Ronda piloted 2 Thunderbolts. Gas Ronda ran an astounding 11.78 seconds at 123.40 miles per hour to secure the win. Ronda won the National Top Stock Championship for the year from the NHRA, in addition to making news with this triumph. And in the world of drag racing, the Thunderbolt had become legendary. In the present day, the Thunderbolt's heritage endures in small form. For collectors and enthusiasts alike, businesses like Hot Wheels and the Ertl Company reproduce this legendary car. The Thunderbolt is a must-have for everyone who enjoys speed and antique cars because these small-scale models perfectly depict its streamlined appearance and racing attitude. If you enjoy making models, Revell provides a plastic kit of the Thunderbolt in 1:25 scale. With this kit, you can replicate every element, including the factory hubcaps and stock hood. Whether you're an experienced model builder or a beginner, this is your opportunity to own a piece of drag racing history. The Thunderbolt is more than just a vehicle. It represents strength, speed, and the excitement of racing. Its narrative never fails to enthrall and inspire us, taking us back to a period when every second spent on the track was valuable and pushing the envelope was standard. Thanks for hanging out with us today, and we'll catch up next time. Keep racing!